In one of my last videos, we went to a local fish store in Sackville, Nova Scotia, and picked up some new fish. Oh, right, before I left, I was planning something else out. It's for this tank. Wait till you see what I'm doing. As for the octopus sharks, if you haven't seen the last update on the octopus, I just followed through with everything I said I was going to do for my friend, and wait till you see his face. Why am I Casper? It's summertime. Is this what I look like? Wait a minute, I can fix this. Ah, color. Nice. Anyways, today I want to look at, no, I'm too dark. No, I'm good. Okay. I'm going to unbox this and show you what I actually got. We're going to start out with the predators that we got for Kevin's aquarium. Ooh, one of the interesting things is the predators that I got for Kevin, they've all been in therapeutic copper levels in their aquariums for months now. So I considered quarantining, but they've technically been quarantining for months and in a copper solution. So all I really need to make sure is that the water in the bag doesn't get in the tanks. We'll likely also add the predators to Kevin's tank today, because just opening this up, and you guys already seen half of this, it's not going to take much. Ooh. So this is the snowflake eel. Well, as you notice, there's 4 of them this time. We kept snowflake eels in the past, and look what they do. They will attempt to get out of the water. Now, to cope with the new bio load going into Kevin's tank, here's what I did. I took one of my do-it-yourself over-the-top overhead filters, filled it with bio blocks and whatnot, added it to that tank. It added a tremendous amount of filtration to that, and everything's gonna be fantastic. Just gonna float, acclimate them, get them to the temperature of the aquarium, even though the temperature of the air is good enough. Now, his main competitor for Kevin, the bully who became a bully, is this absolutely phenomenally gorgeous, just absolutely phenomenal. No wonder I like these. White with black spots. Black with white spots. You guys know I'm colorblind, but I don't think that has anything to do with my selection of fish. I always go for like black and white or high contrast fish. I just think they're absolutely beautiful. Okay, Kevin's over investigating. He's not much of a bully, but I didn't trust him with like a really small fish. Look at these guys are going nuts. They want out. Don't blame them. So added in 3 cave systems for all of the snowflake eels. They should be fine. You'll notice that everybody kind of has same color patterns and same colors as well. I didn't mean for that to happen, but I love the snowflake eel. I love how friendly they are. Kevin's just, you know, I wish everybody liked him more than they do, but it's not his fault. And I can't expect everybody to like what I like, but you know, I just really, really like Kevin. Kevin is this is his forever home. He's not going anywhere. And it kind of sucks because he's going to be a massive puffer fish and he's going to have a lot of needs. So will the so will the snowflake eels. But so will the panther grouper, and I do not want to glorify him. He will grow up to 2 feet long. This is an absolutely massive predator fish that will gulp down anything it can fit in its mouth. I highly advise you don't get one if you cannot properly provide. Feels so much better to get what I actually want to get without having to worry if everybody on the internet can actually keep them. Got some seaweed and algae. What the heck would this be for, huh? What would this be for? Well, this is where it gets exciting because I think it would be absolutely, I can't keep saying absolutely phenomenal. It's like the only word and phrase in my vocabulary, but I think, wouldn't it? So, have you ever seen a planted saltwater aquarium? Maybe, not often. I think it's so cool. And I'm really good at growing algae. Have you seen my aquariums? I'm gonna take some glue and build probably just a couple of structures like this and attach all of this all over it and just have 2 big ones, let it spread throughout the tank. But I'm doing this for 2 reasons. 1, it's gonna look really cool. 2, the fish in the bag are going to need something to attach to. Not this. Why did they give me this? This is an algae or macro or whatever they're calling it that requires iron in the water. So it's likely gonna die in my tank. Some glue. And the babies. Oh, where are they all? Look, 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 look. What is that? That, my friends, is a seahorse. That's the boy. We have a breeding trio of seahorses. 1 male, 2 females. We're going to set them up in a planted saltwater aquarium and see how that goes. Again, stiff warning. These guys are incredibly difficult to keep, have high needs. And I will warn you all along, I'm not going to glorify much of this. I will get excited, of course, but at the end of the day, for the last few years, I've been keeping fish that are hobby safe. And really, my personal hobby has just been suffering because I love so many other fish, and I've always been so scared to keep a lot of things because I'm worried that it'll popularize them, and, you know, unfortunately, a lot of new people in the hobby might get into like some super advanced animals and just end up killing them, and I don't want to be a part of that. So, listen to my warnings. I feel like I'm off the hook if I warn you. Anyways, let's get the fish in. So typically speaking, you'd want to drip acclimate saltwater fish to not only match the temperature of the aquariums, but also match the salinity. I've already tested, they're all pretty much the same. So what I'm going to do is the plop and drop method. I want them out of that water, into this net, and into the tank. I put the net over an old bucket. I cut the bag over the bucket, everything falls into it, water goes through it, fish stay in it. This means that anything in the water, which I'm not worried about because it is copper treated, but I don't want any copper in this tank. We're gonna do, oh, and I fed Kevin this morning a big meal, so he's not hungry. We're gonna do the snowflake eels first because these guys are like, well, they're acting ridiculous. They really want out. And I'm kind of worried about once I open this bag that they're gonna try to flop all over the place or something. So I'll try to do this, or flop all over the floor, try to get out. Anyways, wish me luck. Here, look down. Let's see. Hopefully they don't get out. I'll have to act fast if they do and just grab them. Oh, that's gonna be so gross. I'm not into reptiles or anything like that, so this could potentially be really hard on me. Okay. Oh, leave the bag over it. And come on, guys. You see them? 1, 2, 3, like snakes. Look, they were in the bag just losing their minds, but now that they're out, they're like, oh, I'll get out when I want to. Don't really feel like it right now. It's typical. Now the panther grouper. Man, this is such a beautiful fish. I can't believe seeing, like, it's one thing to see things on the internet or read about it in a book. It is so different to see these animals in person. I mean, look at the shape of his head. And how crisp the spotting is, and how he's got the typical grouper body, but man, what an amazing opportunity I had to. I used to see these guys in books and just fantasize and be like, no, they get too big. I'd never be able to afford a tank that big or have the room for that size or anything like that. Man, take it from me, never say never. Come on. I hope that Kevin isn't a jerk to this guy because he's so beautiful. Once I see Kevin come over, Kevin's considerably bigger. The grouper's head down. That's normal activity for a grouper. He'll figure it out here in a minute. I might have added them too soon and there might be a slight temperature difference. He also might just be a little shy or whatever. Kevin doesn't care. He's just like, bro, do you got any more of them shrimps? Come on, man. Just one more shrimp. Come on. I'll do whatever you want. He's disgusting. So nerve-wracking adding a new fish and worrying. So the grouper does typically prowl with its head pointed down for the most part, more of an angle at times. So I'm not too worried about this. We're minutes in. So this is Kevin's first interaction. So this is when I know whether I've got to take this guy back or he can stay. And thus far, look at what a gentleman, Kevin, you are. What a gentleman. Oh, look him, now he's going up, now he's looking at these guys. He's like, bro, what are you? Do you know who I am? I'm Kevin. Look at him, he's like a puppy trying to get into a small space. Oh no, he bit at him. Oh, Kevin, please don't eat those. They're not spaghettis. Just a second. I'm really sorry. I typically don't like to interfere, but I might have to go grab him by his tail. Be like, Kevin, get out. Come on, Kevin, leave it. Oh, he's just mouthing it. Yeah, he's just mouthing it, seeing what it is. Stressing. I'm sweating. I don't know if you guys are. So he knows that's a fish. Oh, wow, that was so cool. So you're a fish, not food. The snowflakes have places to hide, so it should be okay, but Kevin's going in for another little nip at him. Yeah, you know, I've got to let him learn that these guys, look, the snowflake is looking to fight back. That's only one. Kevin, there's 3 others. Go spread the love. Man, I hope this works out. This is gonna suck if it doesn't. But how do you know? Sometimes you add fish and one just gets beat up. But with Kevin, Kevin's a killer. Look at the teeth on him. Oh, he found another one. Oh, another little slurp. I'm getting him food. I'm also gonna put in a few more rocks in the back so they can hide in there as well. Places Kevin can't get. I wish he'd stop, like, he's literally tasting them. Like, are you food? Jack. There, more hiding places for the snowflakes, just for now. You know, it's not really taken away from anything, but here, Kev. Kevin, come on, eat this. Fish are friends, not food. I literally just fed him 4 shrimp today. 4 regular sized shrimp, like human sized shrimp. Come on, guts. Eat it. What a jackass. I can't believe this. Eat more. Come on, Kevin, do you want even more? Keep filling your gut. Here, don't forget this piece. Come on, Kevin, keep eating. Explode. Jesus. Look, you're ridiculous. How much more? Look, he's coming up for more. Stop. Wow, at what point do you call it a day? Who's your big boy? Who's your good boy? No, don't bite me. No. No. Kevin, you're on camera. I have proof if you bite me. Over here. Who's your good boy? Who's your good boy? Me. Okay. I suspect everybody's going to be fine. Let's let them acclimate. I'll update you guys in the near future. On second thought, everything you guys just watched was technically filmed about 8 days ago. I'm going to give you the update right now. Kevin and the grouper have become best friends. They're doing absolutely fantastic. With that said, Kevin will not leave the snowflake eels alone. It's to the point where they hide and they will not even come out to eat, which is not very common for a snowflake. They are typically aggressive eaters. Oh, one of the things I kind of want to point out was the color of the tank. It's freshwater lights on a saltwater tank, so it's not going to look, they're all identical. Like, so for example, this tank is the same lighting as this tank. This is the African cichlid aquarium. So when you put freshwater lights or freshwater spectrum on a saltwater tank, you know, it's hit or miss whether it's going to look good or not. I like it, but it makes the tank kind of look drab and almost dirty. So maybe at some point we'll put a saltwater light on here. Anyways, since Kevin won't leave what he likes to call live spaghetti alone, I'm not going to take any more risks. It's been 8 days and they don't come out, they won't eat. And when they do, Kevin thinks that he can just go ahead and bite at them. And he's not doing any damage or hurting anybody. I mean, look at this guy, he's in perfect shape. But when it comes to Kevin, I mean, with that beak of his, he's one bite away from like literally biting them in half. So today or tomorrow, look at, oh, my baby just poking his head out. Like, why can't we eat? Poor guys. I'll figure something out with them, but Kevin cannot have them in his aquarium anymore. But like I said, my relationship with Kevin has been and has become incredibly complicated. it's to the point where I've had to list Kevin and I as in a complicated relationship on Facebook. But with that said, sometimes stalking works, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, Tyrese got along with the Oscars. That's typically not supposed to happen with the Fahaka Puffer and Oscars. And, you know, just because it works for one tank doesn't mean it'll work for your tank, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of this stuff in the aquarium hobby is just based off experience and trying things and seeing if they work. But as, you know, their caretakers, we do have to intervene and put the safety of the fish above all else. And one of the things what I do when I'm looking at a new fish and adding them and the risk of any sort of aggression or fighting, and those in the cichlid hobby know exactly what I'm talking about. One of the things I'm looking for, sorry for the reflection, how is the new fish acting? Is it out swimming around? Is it, like, he doesn't even have a torn fin or anything. Is it eating? Like, did you say eating? I'd love to eat right now. I bet you would. Is it acting normal? And at what point do we intervene? At what point do we step in and say, okay, this just isn't going to work out? I feel like 8 days it was a long enough test for these guys. I rarely ever have compatibility issues, but it's always on my mind. Not everything goes perfectly. Not everything goes to plan. And like I said, as a hobbyist, we have to intervene and we have to kind of step in at times. And you know, I could probably actually leave the snowflake eels in there, but you know, I don't want to come out here one day and Kevin's bitten one of them in half or something. Because like I said, it wouldn't take much for Guts McGee to do that, and I don't trust him. I trust him, but I don't. I love you, Kevin. I'm just not in love with you. Anyways, the grouper's doing fine, and to be fair, I'm starting to think that like these two should just be homies and just have the tank to themselves, because that grouper, you know how Oscars grow an inch a month for the first 10 months or so? A grouper grows several inches a month. So, I mean, next time we update him, he might even be the same size as Kevin, and we'll see where that goes. But you need a name, and I think you will be Steven.